cat had always thought poorly of him. Smug bastard, sly, winding round her legs, eyes locked with his, half shut, purring, flaunting their bond. Buttons had clawed the shit out of his favorite recliner, pissed on countless items of clothing, and responded to all attempts of kinship with general distaste. It was jealousy, really, on both their parts. Who loves his mommy? Gabby cooed, adding Oedipus to injury, sliding fingers between shoulder blades to a wide-handed rub down his back, wisping slow off his curling tail. When Charlie would reach for Buttons, he would fire backwards, swat and hiss. There was no misunderstanding here. One of them had to go. It was a hidden feud composed of subtleties apparent only to the two involved. Buttons McCutie Puss and Charlie Gillard. Buttons would trip Charlie up when he ran for the phone. Charlie would flick water at Buttons while washing the dishes. A secret battle of minor strikes and inconveniences. Until Thursday. Gabby had gone to work and Charlie was eating breakfast when the phone rang. Returning to the table and diving back into his cereal, it was the third heaping spoonful of which he noticed. Milk-soaked, decorated in Cheerios, and balancing on the end of his spoon, a little log of cat shit. Fuck! Shooting a mouthful of chewed Cheerios across the table and hopping to his feet, Charlie launched toward the living room. Buttons, having anticipated such a reaction, crouched under the bed and looked on nervously as Charlie tore through the apartment. Grumbling, tossing pillows and blankets, lifting furniture until on his knees and peering under the bed, they were eye to eye. Buttons played tough, clawing at the madman's hand as it reached and swung furiously. Fuck! Charlie, pulling back his scratch-speckled arm, retreated to the kitchen, relieved himself in Buttons' food bowl, and went to work.
That's weird.
Sharon from accounting was the first to notice.
Look at that squirrel. He's just staring in the window.
The office, one by one, peeking from out their cubicles as another squirrel worked its way onto the sill. Has there always been so many birds out there? Ron was right to question the abundance of local wildlife. There had never been so many birds or squirrels out there, all perched in the tree or joining their comrades at the window, all just watching.
Maybe there's a hurricane coming.
The office hung still in tangible anticipation, cats and dogs joining the attentive sit-in, all in fixed gaze of the uneasy employees staring back from behind the glass. Someone flipped through the stations in the break room radio, everyone half expecting to hear the emergency broadcast system, tales of tidal waves and tornadoes. But nothing. Charlie stood to get some water, the animal mob collectively leaning in, eyes glued, heads turning, synced with his steps. His gut sank, shuffling backwards and whipping to his seat, the next jerking followed to a T.
Oh my God, Charlie! They're looking at you!
Charlie didn't move from his cubicle for the rest of the day, denying the obvious anomaly until the overwhelming discomfort hushed the office back to routine. Soon after, the crowd of critters had dissipated as well, but their point had been made. Charlie was a marked man. It must have been Buttons. Charlie hammered home in long stride. The cat had marked him with a scent, put out a signal or something. Tops of trees flurried with activity behind him. Conspicuous parade of paws and claws scampered, prowled, and leaped, snowballed until he could feel its rider's presence at heel. Stomping abrupt and spinning to face his assailants, the ragtag stalkers sat calm. An array of neighborhood animals nonchalantly engaged in their natural activities. Birds singing, squirrels playing tag, a dog licking his ball. But Charlie could tell. They were acting. They all had an eye on him. Turning slow from the casual conglomerate, he sprinted toward his building, chased closely by the scuttling, flapping, and rustling fury that nipped at his backside. Fiddling with his keys, he vaulted up the stairs, unlocked the door, and slammed himself in. His pursuers barking, pecking, pawing, and gnawing in vain attempted entrance. It was that fucking cat! What did he tell them? Catching his breath, creeping toward their apartment, he entered quietly. There he was, just lying there, sleeping on the couch. Charlie bolted into the living room, scooping Buttons up underneath his furry little arms and slamming him against the wall. What did you tell them? Buttons wiggled and moaned, fell to the floor, hobbled his way to the embrace of an awe-stricken Gabby Farquhar. Jaw dropped, wide-eyed, she lifted the disoriented cat, backed away. Buttons McCutie pushed sneering and cleaning his paw. She had made her choice. He moved out in armfuls, mumbling excuses to a closed door, dumping his stuff in a grocery cart outside. He tried friends' couches, but had been taunted by ferrets, lizards, or parakeets. Shadowed by an ever-growing swarm of pets, strays, park, and street animals. Until he gave up.
Old man Charlie lives with the rats, eating the squirrels, pigeons, and cats. Old man Charlie lives with the rats, eating the squirrels, the pigeons, and cats.